Well, hello and welcome to WAM Wednesday for May 26, 2021. We've got a good one for you today. Of course, WAM stands for Weekly Accountability Meetings, and we always want to start with that. And then afterwards, we have a little program, so you want to stay tuned for that. And this week, we're going to talk about how the Pareto principle can change your life. And you know what that is. And don't Google it before we get there, but I guarantee you know what that principle is. But we're going to talk about how it can really change your life, so stay tuned for that. All right, well, I'm going to back out the banner here real quick so you can get a full screen. And then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hide that. And then I'm going to back out of here so you can see the full screen. And then we're going to get this thing rolling for you. All right, well, let's talk about the percentage of key actions that you executed last week. And again, your key actions are the things that really you needed to do to make your goals happen last week and get you closer to attaining those. So again, they're not to-do lists. They're not got to get the milk or pick up the kids. Y'all be picking up your kids anyway. but anyway, these are the key things, and you want to get a percentage. But again, because goal attainment is really nothing but math. It's how many, what percentage of things that you have to do to make your goals a reality. And so it's all math, and you want to figure out what your math is on these things. And it's going to be different for different things. It's going to be different for working out versus cold calling versus your appointment ratios and those types of things, or whatever it is you do in your life. But you gotta know what that percentage is, so you'll know what do I have to do to get better. What is a passing grade for myself, and you're not going to know that unless you start keeping those records and having measurements, because when you come into a coaching session or a mentoring session, that's one of the first questions we're going to ask is your percentage of key actions, because that's really going to let us know that you're measuring it, and you can't change what you don't measure because if you don't know what it is, you don't know how what you need to do. And sometimes you may do less of some things, right? You're over achieving in some areas, and you're distracting in some others. So we want to be sure we know what those things are. But again, every week look for what victories from the past week you're proud of, and it might not be necessarily involved with any, maybe even your goals, or something that really happened that you're super proud of. And be sure you have those things, because we want your subconscious mind to know that you had some awesomeness in your life last week, so it'll stay on board with the conscious mind and let you keep dreaming and moving forward. So be sure you have those in there, and then look at what do I need to most improve upon this next week. There are always room for improvement. So look in there and just so you don't beat yourself up, just look at it and say, hey, what could I have done a little bit better to maybe pick up a percentage or two on my key actions, or maybe make that goal happen a little bit faster. So always in our reflect, plan, execute, we want to be sure that part of reflection is what can I do better, and put in my plan for next week so that I can execute better. And then always is on here last, but it's certainly not least, is what am I most grateful for? Because gratitude is just king. I mean, you have to have that in there every single day, because you don't want to get into these pity parties of thinking, oh man, I don't have anything. You look at other people's lives and you start getting some of that envy going. You say, man, my life is a horrible. I don't have anything. I don't have that. I don't have. Well, look around. Yeah, I guarantee you do. We all have our key 3 or 4. Mine obviously is God's grace and the opportunity that God's given me to be successful and do the things that I do and help people every day. And then, of course, Jan, my wife's always in there, because my life just wouldn't be whole without her. And then we've got the rest of the family, and it's just where I live and the place I'm at, and the view I get every day from my office and those types of things. It's just wonderful. So you don't get into a pity party. Just look at the awesome things you have in your life and know that you have been blessed. I guarantee you have been blessed, and take those things with you and keep yourself pumped up. And then look at what you're going to do to live next week to the fullest, because that's what we're here for. We're not here to be part-timers. You want to live it to the fullest. So relationships, recreation, personal and health stuff, and work. Let's look at those 4 key areas. And you can combine a lot of different goals in here. I'll usually talk about 6 or 7 different goal areas, but you've got your work, you've got finance and career in there, but kind of both of them hooked in there together. But finance can also go over into your personal stuff, and then personal stuff could be your mental stuff. Maybe picking up some different core courses or some classes or some key things that you need to be doing. Also, your socials in there, your health, your exercise. You can also cross over to recreation. That can also cross over to social. So you can combine all these different relationships, kind of intermingled with all of them. So you can mix a lot of these up, but just look at what you're going to do in these different areas to help yourself again live a life to the fullest next week. And then as we get through here, also look at your 4 goals, right? You got your goals for the week. You don't have to have 4. You can have 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can have more than that, but I really wouldn't have more than like 3 maybe. I usually use 4 as kind of maybe my to-do list for the week. If I get everything else done, I'll go do this, right? You don't want to get yourself too diluted in your goals, but you may have different areas like your fitness levels and then your work, and then maybe some key actions in your work or something that you're doing to try and as a side business, whatever it is. But what are those? And put what you need to be doing in there, what the goals are, and then make them specific, actionable, and measurable, so that you can again, if we can't measure them, there's no way we can look at those and say, hey, they're not coachable if they're not measurable. So be sure, and even if you're your own coach, you want to be sure that they're measurable so you know what to do. But have those 4 listed. So in this page, you want to look at every single day. You want to remind yourself, remind your subconscious and your conscious mind what you're supposed to be doing. So be sure you look at this page every single day. If you don't have a copy of this, just reach out to me. You can put it in comments or whatever it is, or just give me a shout at a2bforme.com and we'll get you one. But it's also in the Phoenix Planner. This is right out of the Phoenix Planner, so you should have one of those. If you don't have one, hop up and get one of those as well. We got it in the store, A2B4Me store. All right, what am I looking forward to most this week? Well, there you go. I mean, get excited about something. I mean, this is your why for the week. What am I looking forward to? It might be achieving one of those goals, or what could I accomplish? If I could accomplish just one thing this week, what would it be? And again, a lot of times mine is the same exact thing. Kind of whatever I'm looking forward to is what I want to accomplish, but it may not be yours. So put that in there so you got yourself kind of some pump up for the week, and just remind her what you want to do. And then here's your action and habit tracker down here for you. You want to put whatever that action is. The A to B for me strategy. We've got thoughts, action, and habit, and that's going to lead to your character and, of course, to your destiny. So action and habit kind of go together. If you want to change one, modify one, create one, whatever it is, put it down there, and then how many times you're going to do it this week, and then check off the days that you do it as you go through the week. Again, you're looking at this every day, so look at yesterday and check it off. And then if you look at the end of the week and your number of aims is a number of check marks across there, give yourself a big old check on the right, and that's going to be one of your successes for the week for next week. One of the things that you're proud of, right? So this is your action and habit tracker. There's a much bigger one in the back of the Phoenix Journal, but this is your weekly one that you can go and make some things happen. So there it is. There is your WAM for this week. And now we're going to go on over. We're going to pop this out of the way. I'm going to get over to our session for the week, which I know you're going to get excited about, which is how the Pareto principle can change your life. And now you know this as the 80-20 rule. And you're like, oh, okay, I know what that is. How come you're talking about what's this Pareto thing? Well, we want to give credit to the guy, and it's not Don Hastings at A2Bforme.com for sure that came up with this, because this guy came up with it back in the 1800s, and there he is. Economist Wilfredo Pareto. He was noted that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. And as he went through looking at different things kept popping up. And this ratio holds true for a variety of phenomena in the world. For example, even still today, 20% of the population holds about 80% of the wealth. That's just kind of one of those things. If fixing 20% of the bugs in a software program generally eliminates about 80% of the software crashes. And one of his quotes that he had that I just love because it really, really brings it home. He said, if you're Noah, and your ark is about to sink, look for the elephants first, because you can throw over a bunch of cats, dogs, squirrels, and everything else that's just a small animal, and your ark will keep sinking. But if you find one elephant to get overboard, you're in much better shape. So we'll get to this in a little bit, but if your business is sinking, it might be one big elephant that's making it sink. So throw that one overboard. But this idea, this 80-20 rule, can be applied to your life very efficiently. We're going to talk to you about a few of those ways here to save time while accomplishing more. All right, well, let's look at the first one here, which is look at your customers and clients. We all have customers and clients, maybe internal customers and clients, maybe external customer and clients. But even if you're a mom, pop, you got clients. So, but suppose that you're a salesperson or you have a small or large business. I'm telling you, 20% of your customers are going to provide about 80% of your revenue. That's just the way it is. You can go in, you can do spreadsheets, you can figure this out, and it's not going to be far off. It's also not going to be far off that 20% of your customers account for about 80% of your complaints. Okay. And those aren't necessarily the same people. Trust me. So if you have a customer that's one of the high complaint and low revenue customers, then obviously that's one you might want to just let them go. Just tell them, hey, obviously, you're not happy here. And you might be happier somewhere else, and just maybe give them a nice little welcome to or maybe introduce them to somebody else, because it just costs you too much time and effort. On the other hand, if you got a customer that doesn't require a lot of your time and provides significant revenue, then obviously you want to cherish that person. You want to give them a little bit more attention. Maybe you want to find out if they've got anybody like them that they know, and you darn sure want to go in and do an audit and find out what the characteristics of those persons are, those people are, and try and work your advertising, your Facebook ads, or whatever it is that you do, so that you can attract more of those types of people. Those are going to help you move forward. All right. On the other side of that, as far as if you're a business owner, your employees, look at those, because generally about 1/5 of your employees are doing 80% of the work. So you got that 1 out of 5 that's really, really making things happen for you. And you want to know which employees fall into that group, because you want to consider taking steps to prevent them from leaving. Pay attention to them. Be nice to them. Give them some props, right? And on the other hand, you might want to think about letting a few of the others go, so you can attempt to hire a few new people that are more like your high performers. And again, by going in through and doing some audits and some things, maybe doing some disc profiles or whatever it is, you can find out what the characteristics of these key people are, and those are the ones that you want to start working on for your attraction or your recruiting processes, because those are the ones that are really going to make it happen, not only for you but for them, right? Because you obviously have an environment that someone can be successful, so you want to get them in there and help them do that as well. All right, well, let's go back the other way here. Take a look at your friendships. Now, this is one about, I leave my friends alone. You're talking about my friends all the time. Well, Jim Rohn started it. He said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. So important. So you want to look at which of your friends provide the most support, camaraderie, encouragement, and laughter, right? And those are the people that you want to hang out with, because you could conceivably eliminate the bottom 80% of your friends and still be doing pretty well, right? Now, we're not talking about all the 5,000 Facebook friends you got so you could be a public figure. We're not talking about that. You just had a goal out there, and you're just clicking friend request to get 5,000 people. You don't know half those people are anyway. So don't consider those friends. But at the very best, consider letting go the bottom 20% of your so-called friends, the people that you really, really call friends. And you know who those are. Those are the people you call friends, but when their face comes up on the phone, you hit don't answer. So, well, that's just okay. Well, that's probably something that you're probably eliminating them right there, right? But look for more friends that are similar to your top 20%, the people that are really helping you out. We went over this in the compound effect with Darren Hardy about keeping those people around you, because those are the people that are really going to uplift you. And again, you probably don't want to be the smartest person in the room on the business side of it, because you want to be around people that are more successful, because they're going to help levitate you and bring you up rather than pull you down. If you're at the top of the heap, other folks they're not doing anything to motivate you to do any better. and they're probably doing maybe things that keep you with them, right? They don't want you to go up high. They want you to stay down there where they are. So just be very, very cautious of who you're hanging out with, because hey, you can get a lot of trouble hanging out with the wrong people. But again, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So spend time with the people that you really are part of your why and part of what your life purpose is in your life, and you'll never regret it. So take a look at your friendships. All right, next, your exercise routine. It can be considerably shortened by instituting the 80-20 rule. Now, the first thing you got to do is look at what your goals are: cardiovascular or strength or flexibility or balance. Now if they're all of them, then obviously they're all important, but you got to figure out what your goals are right now. When you're doing your training, there are certain things you want to get taken care of first, right? But a lot of you guys out there doing the strength training, you do need to start putting in some flexibility. We had Fitness Week last week, so you might want to go catch a couple of those episodes. But flexibility is just so important. So you want to start instituting some stretching and some range and repair type stuff, some yoga. You don't have to put yoga pants on, but you do some yoga, get some stretching, because that's going to really, really help your muscles relax and get ready to take on more strength. But if you are lifting, there's probably only a few exercises that matter the most. It can be argued that the deadlift, the squat, pull-ups, bench press, and overhead presses are among the most important 20% of the weightlifting exercises. Because when you're looking at really, really making some massive change, whether it's weight loss or whatever it is, or just wanting to get strength, you're sitting here working your glamour muscles like your triceps and your biceps, right? Well, that's nice, and you want to do those, but they're not going to do much for your overall, strength. It's your back and your legs, especially if you're trying to lose weight. You want to tax those big muscles so that you'll be burning some fat even when you're not lifting. But look at what you're doing, and a lot of things that you should be doing, you're not doing because there's discomfort involved, right? Well, whenever there's discomfort, you want to look at two things. A, you want to make sure it's not a physician thing. You get with your doctor, make sure you can do it. So, I mean, if you got a bad rotator cuff and you're trying to do overhead presses, well, that discomfort is not the fact that you just need to get used to it. You need to go get it fixed, right? But I'm preaching to choir here because that was me for years. But you a lot of times you're going to have soreness before you're going to get strength, and sometimes you're going to have soreness all the time. But it's just those muscles growing. But look at what you really want to do. If it's cardiovascular, if that's your goal, then you have to cut down the strength training for a while. If you're out of breath going up and down steps, and you're all beefed up, maybe you need to get on find an old Stairmaster or something, or just get on a bike or something, or do some swimming. But look at what your goals are and where you really need to be, and set your exercise activities accordingly, and that'll help you not spend all day in the gym, because that's probably one of the reasons why you're not doing it, because this takes too much time. Well, cut it back. You don't have to do everything every day. But examine your own exercise routine and look for ways to make it more effective. And I guarantee you'll see that 80-20s are really working there as well. Next, prioritize your daily tasks. And this is just huge. We talk about this every week in the planning. And in our WAM. But you want to consider everything you have to do today or this week. And the most important 20% are going to deliver 4 times as much as the other 80%. And these are called our key actions. Right? You got your to-do list and you got your key actions. Unfortunately, the 20% you should focus on are often tasks you try to avoid. But that's why I want to make them key actions every day. You got to make phone calls if you're a salesperson. You got to make, you got to get out there and see people. Yeah, there's certain things in your life, and especially, and we're all in marketing in some respect, and there are things you've got to do that you're just uncomfortable doing. Well, you just have to do them. And the more you do them, the more they will not be uncomfortable because you'll be used to doing them. But most people manage to stay quite busy all day, but they fail to accomplish much of anything. And you don't want to get into that habit. That's why we have WAM. That's why we have accountability. That's why we have a Phoenix journal. That's why we have a planner. So we can stay on top of these things every single day, reflect, plan, execute every single day. So we don't let these things get out of control. Because you can bet that these people that are not getting much done are avoiding the most important tasks. But you want to do everything you can to finish the tasks that will make the biggest difference. So look at your day, look at your big hairy goals, and then say, hey, what is my key project for the day? You know, what do I really need to get done? And stay on that thing, and stay off of Facebook and Twitter or whatever else it is you're doing, and be sure that you're making things happen for yourself. So prioritize your daily tasks based on your 80-20 rule. All right, next, streamline your life, because you can definitely reclaim your freedom. You'll realize that you probably wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. You just do. That's how it happens. I mean, I've got stuff in the back half of my closet. I don't even get there. I don't even get to the back 75%. I guess I bet I don't get to the back 80%. How's that? Because I wear the same thing a lot of times. You'll see I got the A to B for me cap on. I got the A to B for me logo shirt on. And Steve Jobs is one of these big ones. He wore black all the time. He didn't have to spend any time thinking about what he's going to wear. Just put the same daggone thing on every day, right? And also there's just a few activities contribute to most of your happiness and fun. So that's another 80-20. You know what you like. You know what you like to eat. When you look at we talked about this last week. When you look at your diet plan, you're probably eating the same 5, 6, 7 things every week. Maybe in some different proportion. Maybe instead of rice, you're having quinoa, or you're having potatoes or whatever it is, and with your chicken or your pork or whatever it is. But you have the same different things. So be sure that when you go to the store, that you're not bringing nasty foods and poisons into your into your pantry. Be sure that you're eating clean, right? But you can eliminate a lot of excess weight from your life, not just on your body, but from your life, by applying the 80-20 rule to people, activities, and possessions in your life. So go back and let's re-examine the things that in your life, in your journal, and just every week, and make the 80-20 rule just part of your inspection process, because you can use it in every part of your life. These are just a few things, the tip of the iceberg, but I know you can think of a lot of different ways that you can apply these principles. So don't just say, yeah, I know that 80-20 thing. No, that 80-20 thing's real. It's real. It really does make a difference. So when you're looking at it, apply it aggressively and see what happens. And decide for yourself if it works. I mean, what if it is 79-21? I mean, you can come back and yell at me and say, it was 79-21, it wasn't 80-20. Well, even if it's 70-30, I guarantee you need to find out what that is in your life and make it work for you. Because we spend too much time on people, activities, and things that just provide little or no value in our lives. So just get rid of them. We also avoid doing the tough things that bring us some meaningful results. And that's those things you got to do. You got to fail forward. No pain, no gain. All these things, we hear them all the time, right there. I mean, you get tons of posters around the room that'll tell you the same daggone thing. But the 80-20 is really the core of it. So begin today and focus on the 20% that'll change your life for the better. So there you have it, the 80-20 rule. And now you know. You can tell your friends, I know about the Pareto principle. And you can know something they don't know until they find out it is the 80-20 rule. All right. Well, I'm going to back in here and say goodbye to you. But we have a great Thrive Thursday tomorrow for you. And then Friday, we've got a really nice Finish Strong Friday program on prosperity, which I think you'll want to take with you into the weekend. So stay tuned. But have a great Wednesday. Get all your stuff done that you've got in there on your goals, and be sure that you hang in there, because you got a couple more days to get this week done. Got a few more days in May. So let's finish strong in May. But this is our last WAM for May. The next one will be in June. So we'll see you then. But until then, keep moving in the direction